Apparently, this woman who binged 32 sushi rolls at an all you can eat buffet was rushed to a hospital. So let's actually check this out. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. She's in the hospital. Blah, 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 blah. Just gorging herself on sushi rolls. Let's see. Oh, that's it. This is replays of that. Okay. So the California woman was on a roll. Danielle Shapiro, 24, wanted to get her money's worth at a $50 all you can eat sushi buffet at Sushi 85 restaurant in Mountain View, California last month. But after indulging a little too much, including 32 rolls of sushi, her uncooked delights left her feeling a bit raw inside. Following the binge, Shapiro was rushed to the emergency room with severe stomach pains. That's where she was diagnosed with a gastroesophageal reflux disease, commonly known as acid reflux. Shapiro shared the experience in a TikTok on December 23rd, in which she shows off the mountains of food she consumed in one sitting and the subsequent trip to the hospital that left her with IVs in her arms. So her warning to sushi lovers has since gone viral with over 11.3 million views. So all you can eat sushi gone wrong, she captioned her snap. In a video shared on December 22, she went into greater detail about her experience. I'm a huge fan of sushi. I like to eat it a couple times a month if I'm lucky, said Shapiro, adding that she had planned a trip to dine on Japanese fare with her friend. We were both looking forward to the all you can eat sushi experience. So our dinner was about 2 hours long because we were so stuffed we had to keep taking breaks. She added. She started off with miso soup, four gyozas, and jalapeno poppers. She then moved on to eight green dragon rolls, eight snow rolls, eight California rolls, eight wakame rolls, and a helping of edamame. Shapiro then revealed that what went down after her monstrous meal. Immediately after dinner, we were so full we had to sit in my car for about 30 minutes before driving home, she said. My stomach felt very firm from all the sushi and probably the rice that expanded in my stomach. She went to her partner's house to try to sleep it off. That night, I went to sleep at my boyfriend's house and I had the worst stomach ache, but I didn't think much of it since I had a huge meal. I am not a morning person, so when I woke up around 6 a.m. the next day, I knew something was wrong, she said. She added, my stomach and chest had intense pain and it was hard to take deep breaths. Her boyfriend and her grandmother reportedly drove her to the hospital where she was diagnosed with acid reflux and given medication to alleviate her pain. People experience acid reflux when stomach acid flows back up the esophagus, according to the Mayo Clinic. Acid reflux is extremely common and can happen to virtually anyone, as about 60 million Americans experience symptoms in any given month. While researchers estimate about 20% of people in the US suffer from, acid reflux, symptoms include heartburn, chest pain, regurgitation of food or sour liquid, and difficulty swallowing. Following treatment, Shapiro admitted it took several days to recover and feel normal again. Despite her trauma, she won't quit her favorite dish. I will definitely eat sushi again. This experience has not ruined sushi for me or the all you can eat sushi experience. I did learn that next time I need to listen to my body and take things slower, she concluded. So, why we wanted to cover this story is that one, just because something is cheap does not necessarily mean that it's actually better, right? So let's use this as like another example, right? Let's say that you're someone who likes to purchase very cheap shoes at, let's say, Walmart, for example, right? We're talking like the $8, $9 pairs of shoes. You might be thinking, oh, this is so cheap, right? What's the big deal, right? I mean, I'd rather spend 8, $9 on these pairs of shoes than like the $50 pair of shoes from like, some other company, at some other store, some other shoe store, right? But the reality of it, the $50 pair of shoes will probably last longer than a year, longer than 2 years, right? Depending on the quality, it's probably going to actually last for quite a few years. That $8, $9 Walmart pairs of shoes probably may last like a month, right? So if you keep doing that every single month, let's just use like 1 year as an example. Actually, let's not even use 1 year as an example. Let's use 10 months, right? 10 years at let's just say $9 a month. Well, guess what? What 10 months, $9 a month, that is $90. So within 1 year, you've already spent more than you would have with just the better quality of shoe, right? So sometimes you got to really think of it like that. Does the price equal good enough quality to where it actually makes sense, right? And another example is this: people who tend to buy paper or plastic forks and spoons every time that they go grocery shopping instead of just spending, 30, 40 bucks on very good quality silverware, right? You pretty much probably spend $5 to $7 a week added to your grocery bill from your plastic spoons and forks instead of just the one time purchase of these good quality forks and spoons. So that's something to really think about. Like, just because something is cheap does not mean that you're actually saving money or that it's actually better for you long term. Also, this kind of goes to show you, don't like gorge yourself with massive amounts of food, even though you're trying to get your money's worth from it, because guess what? Now she's going to have hospital bills that are going to probably be pretty expensive, all because she just wanted to stuff herself with so much cheap sushi, right? So it's like a double whammy, right? In reality, the quality isn't that great. And then two, she ends up harming herself just because she wanted to stuff herself with super cheap sushi. So again, this kind of like goes back to it. Take a step back before you make a purchase and like say like, hey, wait a minute. Am I buying this money because like this item because I think I'm actually going to be saving money just because of the price right now? And if that's the case, let me take a step back and really just calculate it in my head for a minute, right? How often do I buy this item? How often will I probably have to buy this item? Instead of just buying or like spending a little bit more money now on a better quality product that I may not have to replace for a very long time. And I think typically girls tend to be better at this in terms of like clothing, for example. They're like typically very good at finding very good quality like jeans or something that they end up keeping for like decades, right? Like their favorite pair of jeans for decades. Whereas I think most guys just buy the cheapest amount of stuff because they just don't really care. And so that's also something that you got to really factor in too. Like, yes, even if you don't necessarily care about what something looks like or how it feels and all that kind of stuff, right? Sometimes you got to do the research. Sometimes you got to really do the critical thinking. It's like, okay, is it worth it to spend $10 more dollars or $30 more dollars on the better quality product that will have a longer lifespan than the cheap product that has no lifespan? It's just something to really think about, and a lot of people don't, right? A lot of people think that they're saving money when in the long term, they really aren't. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and manage your money, go to 40bucks.com. By the way, if you stumble upon this, feel free to give like your own experience as to how you've seen someone spend their money thinking that they're actually saving money, but in reality, they're not. Like, have you seen anyone go through that? Like, what are your examples?